Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whenever and wherever you're hearing this sweet voice. My name is Whitney IY, and if you're new here, you're highly welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for staying with this channel. In this video, we are going to learn how to make this trendy baggy pants with a pocket and an elastic waistband. It also has a rope for readjusting the waist. Now, one thing I love so much about this pants is that it can fit a size 6 to a size 16. You can also make it fit a size 20 by readjusting the measurements. So obviously it's a one size fit all. And if this is something that you're interested and willing to learn, then do well and keep watching and do not touch the dial. I made use of this fabric. It's an Ankara fabric and I made use of 2.5 yards. I also made use of the elastic band. If you can get an elastic band that is quite wider than this, no problem, but this is the one I could find at the market. Also, I made use of the joggers rope, which is not here, and above is the measurement required for making this baggy pants. Now, I have gone ahead to fold my fabric into two, and to get the fold, all I have to do is to divide my round hip measurement by 4 and add 7 or 8 extra inches. Now, my round hip measurement is 40, divided by 4 gives me 10. Then I went ahead to add 7 inches, so making it 17 inches in total. And this fold is for the front pattern. Moving on, I will go ahead and mark out the vertical lines, which are the crotch depth and the trouser length. So in marking that out, I will take note of how wide I want my waistband to be. Now I want my waistband to be 2 inches wide. So I will go ahead and bring in my tape, and in placing my tape, I will place it from the 2 inches mark, meaning the 2 inches space above is for the waistband, okay? Now moving on, the next step is to go ahead and mark out the crotch depth. And to get my crotch depth, I'll divide my round hip measurement by 4. Now, because this is a free pant, it has to be free around the crotch. And for that reason, I'll be adding 2.5 inches. Now, my round hip measurement is 40 inches. Divided by 4 gives me 10 inches. Plus 2.5 gives me 12.5 inches. So that is why you can see me marking out 12.5 inches. And I am taking note of the 2 inches for the waistband while marking out the crotch depth line. Now, after marking out the crotch depth, I will go ahead and bring in my rule and connect the dots together to get a straight line like this. And this line is referred to as the crotch depth. Moving on, the next step is to go ahead and mark out the trouser length. I will also take note of the 2 inches for the waistband by placing my tape like this, and I will go ahead and mark out how long I want this pant to be. And for me, I want this pant to be 39 inches long. So I'll place my tape like this while marking out the 39 inches for the length of my pants. Now, if this pant is for a ready-to-wear purpose, you can go ahead and make use of 48 inches or 47 inches. That is the ideal length for a pant. That way, it will be easier for you to readjust it to any length suitable for your clients. Moving on, I'll go ahead and add 2 inches from the trouser length for the hemming allowance. So this 2 inches is for turning the hem of the pants, and I'll bring in my rule and connect the dots together to get a straight line like this. Now, after marking out this straight line, I'll bring in my scissors and cut out the excess fabric remaining, and I'll get to snip both ends of the trouser line. This makes it easier when turning the hem of the pants. Moving on, the next step is to go ahead and mark out the crotch extension. And to get my crotch extension, I'll divide my round hip measurement by 4, and whatever I get, I'll divide it by 4 again, and that will be my crotch extension. So my round hip measurement is 40 inches. Divided by 4 gives me 10 inches. Now 10 divided by 4 again gives me 2.5 inches, and that is my crotch extension. So from one end of the crotch depth line, I will come in by 2.5 inches, and on the waistline, I will also come in by 2.5 inches. And I'll go ahead and connect these points together to get a straight line like this. Moving on, the next step is to go ahead and draw out a curve connecting the two lines together like this. And at the side here on the waistline, I'll go in by 1 inch. Although this is very optional, I just want to reduce a little from the waist and also give the pants a shape. After going in by 1 inch on the waistline, I'll go ahead and mark out the hip line, which is 8 inches, by placing my tape like this. And I'll connect the 1 inch to the hip line to give the pants this shape. And I'll bring in my scissors to cut this out, and also cut out the center front like so, and open up the side like this. And now the front pattern is ready, so I'll go ahead and label this F, which indicates front pattern. Moving on, the next step is to go ahead and draft out my back pattern. So I'll go ahead and fold my fabric for the back pattern into two, and I'll place the front pattern on it. To get the folding for your back fabric, just add your crotch extension to the wideness of your front fabric or pattern. Since my front fabric was 17 inches wide, I added my crotch extension, which was 2.5. So 17 plus 2.5 gives me 19.5 inches, meaning after folding my back fabric into two, the wideness was 19.5 inches. When placing the front pattern on the back fabric, ensure to leave space at the top here. Yes, there should be enough space here, about 3 inches of space here. And after making sure of this, I can go ahead and draft out the back pattern. The next step is to go ahead and extend this crotch depth line on the back fabric, and as you already know, my crotch extension on the back fabric is 2.5 inches. So invariably, the crotch extension for the front is also what I will use for the back crotch extension, and this is me extending it on the back fabric or pattern. And this also means from the front crotch extension, I marked out 2.5 inches for the back crotch extension. Next, I'll go ahead and mark out my hip line, taking note of the 2 inches for the waistband, and I'll mark out my hip line, which is 8 inches on the center front. And from this hip line, I'll come out by 1.5 inches. Initially, I came out by 2 inches, but I readjusted it back to 1.5 inches, and I'll connect the back crotch extension to this 1.5 inches mark, and I'll connect it to the front waistline like so. Okay, after connecting these 3 points together, I will go ahead and extend the line upward from the waistline by 1.5 inches, and you can also extend the line by 2 inches so the pants can accommodate bigger bum bum. Moving on, I will go ahead and connect this extended line to the side of the front waistline like this. And on the center side here, I will come out by 2 inches like so till I get to the hem of the pant. So I'll go ahead and start marking 2 inches allowance till I get to the hem of the pants. So you know, normally the back pattern of the pants is always bigger than the front pattern of the pants, hence the 2 inches allowance here. So I'll go ahead and bring in my rule and connect the buckle lines together like so. And here is the readjustment I talked about earlier on, the 1.5 inches that I came out with from the hip line. Moving on, my back pattern is ready and it's time to cut it out. So I'll cut out the waistline, cut out the back crotch, cut out the shape, and cut open the side like this. And I'll also go ahead and cut the center side as well, and also the hem. And I will snip both ends of the trouser length at the back pattern. Moving on, the next step is to mark out the pocket opening, and for me, I want my pocket opening to be 7 inches wide. So from the waist, I marked out 7 inches. So I will go ahead and just give the 7 inches mark a little snip at the side here. So this makes it easier for me to know that, okay, this is where my pocket opening will stop at. Next step is to go ahead and cut out the fabrics for the pocket piece, which I have gone ahead to do, and there are 4 in numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is 13 inches long and 7 inches wide. You can actually make it 8 inches wide. Next, I'll go ahead and give the pocket pieces this curve, this pocket curve, but if you wish, you can just leave the pieces like that, but I just want it to have this pocket curve. Moving on, the next step is to go ahead and return the hem of the pants. So I'll bring in the pants and I'll fold in the 2 inches for the hemming allowance, as you can see. So you see that snipping it makes it more easier, and I will go ahead and fold in half an inch here, and I will run a straight stitch through the edge of it, and I'll repeat the same thing on hem of the other front pattern and on both ends of the back patterns. After doing this, I'll also go ahead and bring in the pocket piece, and I'll go ahead and place the pocket piece on each of the pattern at the side here. making sure that the right sides are facing each other, and I'll go ahead and stitch it down to the fabric
using half an inch sewing allowance.
So I'll do this on both sides of the front patterns and both sides of the back patterns. So this is it. I have done it on the front pattern. Next, I'll bring in the back pattern, which I've also sewn in the pocket piece, and in placing it, I'll make sure that the right sides of the back pattern is facing the right side of the front pattern.
And in placing it, I'll make sure that this joining here aligns, that is, they lie directly facing each other.
And I'll go ahead and close up the pocket piece together
like this, using half an inch allowance. Next step is to go ahead and also close up the side, and in closing up the side, I'll start from this pocket opening here that I notched on the side, and I'll close it down to the hem using 1 inch sewing allowance. And I'll repeat the same thing on the other front and back pattern. So here it is. I have closed up the pocket piece together, and I've also gone ahead to close up the side. Moving on, I'll flip the pocket piece to the front pattern like this, and I'll go ahead and sew it to the front waistline using 0.25 inch sewing allowance. After which I'll also go over to the center side here and also close it up using 1 inch sewing allowance. And I'll also repeat this on the other front and back pattern. Here it is. I have closed up the side here. I have joined the pocket piece to the front waistline. I have closed up the center side as well. Moving forward, I'll go ahead and bring in the other front and back pattern, which I've also gone ahead to join this exact same way. And here it is. And I'll place it inside of the previous one. But before placing it, I'll make sure that it is turned to the right side of the fabric. So I'll go ahead and place it inside. This way, the right sides of both sides of the pants will be facing each other. So after placing it, you can see the crotch aligns with each other. The back patterns are on the same side. The front patterns are on the same side with the right sides facing each other. Moving on, it's time to close up the crotch. And in closing up the crotch, I'll make sure that the joining here lies on top of each other. And I'll go ahead and close up the crotch like this using half an inch allowance. And here it is. I have joined the crotch together using half an inch sewing allowance. And now I can go ahead and bring out this other side of the pant to give us a full pant or trouser. So this is it. Moving on, I'll go ahead and measure around the waistline. I will bring in my tape and place it on one side and go ahead and measure around. So you can measure twice to be sure of your measurement. So here I have 15 inches. So when cutting out the length for the waistband, I will add 2 extra inches. That makes it 52 inches. So here is the waistband. I've already gone ahead to iron. And for the length, you can see that it is 52 inches long. So I added 2 extra inches to the 15 inches that I measured around the waistline. And for the width, remember that I said this waistband is going to be 2 inches wide. So here it is 2 inches wide. And I added half an inch to sew the waistband to the waistline of the pants, making it 2.5 inches. So when I open this up, I'll be having 5 inches like this. So you can see I folded in the half an inch on both sides and I went ahead to iron. This makes it easier to know the half an inch sewing allowance. Moving on, it's time to sew the waistband to the pants. And in doing this, I'll go ahead and flip this pant to the back side because I want the waistband joining to be on the back pattern precisely. And I'll place the right side of the waistband on the wrong side of the pant. And in sewing it, I'll leave out 1 inch. And then I'll go ahead and sew the waistband to the waistline of the pant using half an inch. So this way it's way easier following the gaiter line that appears after ironing the half an inch in. So I'll go ahead and sew it round the waistline like this. And here it is. I have sewn the waistband round the waistline and this is what I have. And I will go ahead and close up this 1 inch that I left out like this. After doing this, I'll flip the pants over to the right side. And here it is. I have flipped the pants to the right side and I've closed up the 1 inch. Next, I'll go ahead and fold the waistband over to the right side of the pants like this. Okay. The next step is to go ahead and create the holes through which the ropes are going to pass through. And to create the holes, I'll mark out the center of the waistband while taking note of the center front. And from the midpoint on the waistband, I'll go out by 1 inch on this side and also go out by 1 inch on the other side here like this. And it is on this 1 inch marks that I will create the holes using either button holes or eyelets. So it's also going to look so beautiful. And this will be done on only one side of the waistband. Next, I can go ahead and close up the waistband by stitching on the edge of this folding here using a straight stitch. And while closing it up, I'll create an opening here at the back through which the elastic waistband can pass through. And here it is. I've created the openings for the rope to pass through, and I've also gone ahead to stitch on the edge of the waistband, and I left few inches opening for the elastic band to pass through. To cut out the elastic band, I will subtract 2 inches from my round waist measurement, and my round waist measurement is 33 inches minus 2 gives me 31. So you can see the elastic band is 31 inches long. Now I'm going to go ahead and pass this elastic band through the opening at the back here by passing my safety pin through one edge of the band here, and then I'll go ahead and take it through the opening, and I will go ahead and pass it round the waistband and bring it out through the other opening like so. Moving on, I will go ahead and close up the ends of the elastic bands together by double stitching, and after closing them together, I will bring in the elastic band into the waistband like this. Now you can go ahead and close up the opening, but for me, I am not closing it up yet. Moving on, I will go ahead and run a stitch on the elastic waistband like this, and I'll make sure the stitch is on top of the buttonhole, and the other stitch will be below the hose or the buttonhole. I don't know if that makes sense, but hope you do understand. So making it 2 stitch lines that will be on the elastic waistband. Moving on, I have gone ahead to run 1 stitch line on the elastic waistband. Now, because I could not get the 2 inches wide elastic, I have to make do with this 1 inch wide elastic, and I don't want this waistband to have any free space in it, so I went ahead to cut out another 31 inches elastic band, and I'll be passing it through, and this one will be at the down part of the waistband. That way the waistband will feel thicker. Yes, but if you can get the 2 inches wide elastic, no problem, go ahead and do it. Take note that what I just did is very optional. You can choose not to do this. You can also choose to make your waistband 1.5 inches wide. So I've gone ahead to also close both ends of the elastic band together, and now I can finally go ahead and close up the opening and also run the second stitch line below the buttonhole. Now take note that when you're stitching on an elastic waistband, you have to stretch it to stitch on it, and you have to stretch it out very well while running your stitch on it. My elastic waistband is ready. Right now it's time to bring in the rope and pass it through this channel at the center here. So this is the rope. Now if you want to get the rope, you can get it from your tailoring shop. Just tell them joggers rope, or you can cut out a piece of Ankara fabric to sew a long rope, and you can also use that as well. So I'll just go ahead and pass this round off the camera, and here it is. The baggy pants is ready, or rather my Ankara baggy pants is ready. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and you find it helpful, please do it to hit on the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. And don't forget to also give this video a thumbs up, like, and share. So this is the pant. You can see how free it is and how beautiful it is looking. I am so in love with this pants because of how free it is around my body, and I can wear this anywhere I want to. So see you on my next video. Ciao.